Shalom. All praises to the Most High, Haiki said. All praises to the Holy Spirit, Kai. All praises to the Messiah, Most of the Lamb. We're going to be back in the book of remembrance of our ancient grandmothers, and I'm reading from the Zedekah Telebab edition. The book of remembrance is a volume of books mentioned in the Bible. From Malachi 3:16, it says, "Then they that revered and loved the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and in his presence a book of remembrance was written for them that revered the Lord, and that thought upon his name." His name is his character. We're going to be back in chapter 7. We'll be picking up on verse 43, and we'll probably be stopping on verse 60, because we got a couple extra verses in on the last time. But before we actually start the reading, I'm actually going to play a song today. The song I'm going to play today is called Faded Love. Did this some years back. This is more of a soulful type song, kind of like a message back and forth, I think, from like with the Most High kind of. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy this. It's one of my favorite songs. Haven't heard it in a while, so I'm gonna share it with you guys today. All praises to the Most High.
Seems like we've been, hope you ain't fucked. Seems like we don't. And as she ain't no higher self, glory music. Seems like we've been out of town. Hope you ain't forgot we love. Seems like we don't talk as much. Is it faded love? Is it love? Seems like we've been out of town. Hope you ain't forgot we love. Seems like we don't talk as much. Is it faded love? Is it love? Seems like we don't do all the things that we used to do. You know, anytime you fall, I'll always be there for you. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Cast your cares to the Most High. Though you'll doubt me 1,000 times, every time you turn back, my arms open wide. Trust in the Most High, He will never lie. Let Him be your guide. You're the apple of His eye. Trust the higher. Faith like a shy. Seems like we've been out of town. Hope you ain't forgot we love. Seems like we don't talk as much. Is it faded love? Is it love? Seems like we've been out of town. Hope you ain't forgot we love. Seems like we don't talk as much. Is it faded love? Is it love? Time after time that you're falling down, don't I pick you up and place you back on solid ground? Not to my surprise, I won't be dismayed that you only come to me when things ain't going your way. No, I'm not foolish, stupid for helping you. You the stupid one if you keep on doing what you're doing. I create good and evil, the dark and day. I gave you a choice, but you rather live life your way. Don't wanna, but I might have to throw it away. So let me know what you gon' do when I ain't got all day. I ain't got no time to play. Can't you tell it's almost judgment day? Seems like we've been out, we've been out of it. You ain't forgot me, love. Seems like we don't talk as much. Seems like we've been out of it. You ain't forgot me, love. Seems like like we don't talk as much. Is it faded love? Is it faded love? Faded love. Faded love.
All praises to the Most High. That was Faded Love. I also had that on the album For the Most High. That album, you guys should check that out. I might leave a link in the description. That album is pretty much all songs that's like that, kind of just dedicated to the Most High. Hence the name For the Most High. All right, so we're just gonna hop right back into it today. Grandmothers chapter 7 verse 43. And as I listened to these words of Abara, I saw with Urim one of these people, and I saw such a one enter the first station, into the midst of the love and light of Moses the Lamb. And he was utterly aghast, and he held his hands over his face to hide. One moment. My apologies, family. I had some mail come in. All right, so let's just start 43 right back over. And as I listened to these words of Abara, I saw with Urim one of these people, and I saw such a one enter the first station, into the midst of the love and light of Moses the Lamb. And he was utterly aghast, and he held his hands over his face to hide. And he screamed loud and long, and he looked about for a place wherein to hide. And he felt like he was caught out in the open, and he was struck with terror, and that which he was confronting was what he had spent his whole life learning to justify the importance of avoiding. And I saw that the Lord, in his compassion for this man, in his agony, began to withdraw the light. And the man chose to have his spirit wane smaller, and he was relieved to feel less and less of the love and truth that engulfed this place. And his soul became more and more obscure until he suffered the second death. And he was very afraid, and his spirit grew smaller inside his soul until he felt death once again. And this time it had a foreboding not known to him before. And I beheld that the second death was just as frightful as the first. And for this one, it was once again going into the unknown, because he could sense that he was all alone, and that he did not have the support of his evil companions around him, nor the Decadarchi, upon whom he had always used to sustain his life and comfort. And he did not go into a state of unconsciousness, but he remained fully awake and aware, and his torment rose up like smoke. And when he was resurrected once again from his second death, it was unto an awareness of the sense of his awful situation, which would never end, nor would he ever be able to become accustomed to it. Man. And the bar said, only those who die twice need to be resurrected twice. And this is then the second resurrection. And they remain in that state until they enter into the fifth station, which is the station of 1,000 years. And they bypass completely the second, third, and fourth stations. And I know that most of those who died the second death were those who had deliberately rejected the love of Enoki said, and the love of life in all its wholesome forms while they were in this life. And these are known as the beasts of the earth. And this rejection was a result of how they used their gift of life. And I saw that the first four stations are all alike, in that everyone who enters them must linger to become purified before they may depart to the next station. And all these periods of lingering vary in length, according to the patience of Enoki said. And it came to pass that when I thought about this idea of lingering, I repented before the Lord. And I said, Lord, I hope I have adequately spoken your will regarding these things, because I do not know how time is manifested in heaven, and I do not know if the passage of time is experienced by those who linger or who pass on to the next station. And the Lord said to me, the 7 stations of heaven are that which the 7 thunders have uttered with their voices, and time will endure to be experienced for all those who pass through these stations until the 7th station, when I would declare that time will be no more. And then I understood that All of mankind will experience time in some form as they pass through the stations of purification in heaven. And while the first station is about you and the truth and love your Redeemer has for you, the second station is also about his love for you as expressed as it emanates from creation. And when you enter the second station, you take with you the full measure of that love and truth which you chose to receive in the first station. And when you enter this second station, something spectacular sweeps over you, and your eyes and soul are open, and you see and feel and experience the spirits of life which Mozart the Creator put into all the forms righteous element has taken. Or that is to say that in this station one will experience the arm of the Lord. And that love is for you, as if you are the only person he has to love. And the magnitude and the holiness of the spirits of life he put into all things sweeps over you like the rolling waves of the sea. And the utter miracle of the place in the temporal world into which you were brought to receive the gift of life is breathtaking before you. And all creation is indeed the heavenly host. And for many, they will hear the host of heaven singing praises to Enochesed, because he gave you the gift of life, and the mountains and the sea and the rivers of water love you, and you can sense that you are their beloved treasure, and you, as a living being, have the capacity to cause them to feel fulfilled in their own creation by how you lived your life with them, because you are the object of their creation. And I beheld that there is no second death in the remaining stations, but those who found and loved and walked in perfect harmony with him who is their Redeemer in the midst of creation, and those who loved all the holy forms that the creation of the Lord have taken, and who in this life have expressed a loving mind toward them, will be blessed beyond measure by the wave of the Spirit of life that washes over them. And those who are alienated from creation, who lived as though creation was an evil to be overcome, and who thought the earth was a place of trial and a prison, or who supposed that heaven was far off in the sky, and living on the earth was seen as a form of punishment and estrangement from God, all these will be dazed and overcome by the effect of that which they encounter in the second station of purification. And in their souls it will be like they have never known the earth they lived upon. And an all-consuming feeling of regret will sweep over them, for a real sense of having missed out to know the real meaning of life. And again, they must linger to adjust until they can accept the Spirit of truth and the gift of life that is there according to how they will choose. And for some, their lingering will last until all assemble in the fifth station to be judged. And the fifth station begins after the second coming of Mozart the Lamb. And those who are able to choose to absorb and comprehend the wonder of the gift of life in creation and the love of Enochesed for them there will move on to the third station. And again, they take the knowledge of the wonder of the gift of life and the companionship of the spirits of life in creation with them. And so it goes. That which a person finds and chooses to embrace to some degree or altogether accompanies them from each station to the next, and all the Kodeshi move with you into the next station. And again, the third station is about you and you knowing the man that Enochesed became. And as people enter into the third station, they will come face to face with Mozart the Lamb, the hero and redeemer of all mankind, the redeemer of all mankind, the very man. I think there was a misprint in here. Maybe they missed the word, because it just says the hero and redeemer of all mankind, who will, the very man. So that might have been a misprint on the scribe's end. I'm not sure right there. And those who just knew about him, or this is verse 58, and those who just knew about him, or who were satisfied to merely believe that he existed, or who accepted that it was adequate to only confess him with their lips, or who only wanted to be associated with his name for the assurance and acceptance and happiness it brought them, will find him a stranger and wonder what he is doing there. And those who know him in the deepest recesses of their souls will find the one they diligently sought and learned to love, and there he will be before them. The one who they were guided by during their walk in the temporal world is now before them, and they will not refrain from falling into his arms to rejoice in the knowledge of his wonderful forgiveness, and his healing arms will embrace them and cleanse them utterly, and tears of joy will flow like waters of refreshing in heaven, and praising will arise like a cloud of mist in a dry place. For the thirsty souls of men will have found at last the living waters of home, never to depart away from him again. But for others, he will be so different than what they expected that they will be hesitant to embrace him, and still others will find it hard to let go of that which they conceived him to be, and they must linger there to see if they will choose to know him as he really is. And for those who are completely taken aback by who they now see him to be, will linger there and not pass on to the fourth station. And these are those who will insist that he must be limited to the identity he was given by the traditions of their fathers. Man, all praises to the Most High, man. All praises to the Most High. We learned about 3 stations. This is awesome. This is so awesome, man. This also reminds me of an account that me and my wife read some years ago. I don't remember the name of it, but it's very similar to this. It's when he was taken, it might have been Moses or someone he had taken up to see some things, and he took them. Oh wow, he took them through the stations of heaven, if I'm not mistaken. He took them through like 7 stations. Wow, that's amazing. I gotta find out what that is. Yeah, he took them through like 7 stations of heaven, and they saw all different things. And even in that account that I read, it even showed how there was a second part of Sheol or hell. There was an actual frozen part. So I'll have to see if I can find those accounts and bring them back up in remembrance, and to as references, because man, that just hit me. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises to the Most High. Man, family, I'm gonna let y'all get out of here for today. I thank y'all for rocking with me. I pray that today is a better day than yesterday. I pray that y'all are walking in the fruit of the Spirit, man, having love in your heart, mercy and forgiveness, being emissaries of loving kindness, going out into the world, showing love and being kind to folks, man. I think I might give y'all one more song as we go out. So thank you guys again for rocking with me. Please pray for me. All praises to the Most High. And I'm gonna leave the link, instead of doing just the 2 songs, I'm just gonna leave the Bandcamp link to the album in the description of the video. All praises to the Most High. Shalom.
Oh, no self. Yeah. Love music. Oh, praise the Father. Oh, yeah. God is able to do just what he said he would do. So don't you give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you, no. Let's go. He got a real love for you. It's worth don't care nothing about you. You got friends in your face, yeah. Behind your back they talk about you, but they talked about my king, so they gon' talk about you too. But just remember highest words and everything he said to you. I love you, created you so wonderfully, fearfully, amazing. Greater is me that's in you than that's in the world. That's in my son that died for you in your sins in this wicked world. I love you, boy, I love you, girl. You're the apple of my eye. God is able to do just what he said he would do. So don't you give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you, no. God is able to do just what he said he would do. So don't you give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you, no, no. God is able, do what he said he would do. Don't you give up, he won't give up on you. I gave up, God's able. Don't give up, he won't give up. God is able, God is able. Don't give up, he won't give up. He won't give up.